Welcome back to Flint Hills. I'm Jeff. Well, what a busy month it's been here. I've had a few weeks away from the layout to refresh my thinking and to do some other jobs. A few items of rolling stock has finally arrived and I'll share that with you. And some people have asked me how I did my board joints and my track alignment. So I'll explain how I did mine, and I'll also look at a new product for track alignment. I've continued to build some more LED signals and how I've made a real silly mistake and what I've used to correct the error. Plus I'll share with you what else I've been up to in the meantime. But first, let's have a look at that new rolling stock at Flint Hills.
So the first item which has arrived from Collett's Models is this Depot Class 68004 Rapid in DRS livery, which has been used for hauling the Royal Navy nuclear flasks. So to go with the Class 68, I've also purchased from Revolution Trains the nuclear flask carriers for the Royal Navy, which is a twin pack. I do like the box and how it opens, and especially the nuclear signs for waste on the side of the box. Very ingenious. You can also see that I've included the two DRS support coaches, which is normally staffed by the security services, be it the SAS or SBS, who look after this. So all I need to do now is just get another DRS locomotive to support this, because it's normally driven by two for security, and at the moment I've only got the one. So another item that's arrived this week, which I've been waiting on, is the Sturgeon from Revolution Trains in the BR yellow, and I must say that does accompany the rest of the units very nicely. And lastly, I've purchased this 08 shunter, or Gronk as some people call them, in the RTC blue and red livery, which I do like, and I collect all these weird and wonderful RTC coaches. It's currently in an analog format, so I'll have to dismantle it and do a bit of carving around, I think, inside to install a very small decoder to get it to work on my layout. Here at Flint Hills I have two standalone baseboards which you may have seen me explain in video 1. The two baseboards are bolted together, but to ensure total alignment I have used the DCC Concepts baseboard alignment dowels along the joining edges. I have used two dowels, one at each end, and where the two boards join up they ensure perfect baseboard alignment. There are other options out there, but this for me was the easiest and simplest solution.
So when it came to the track alignment on the baseboards, there's various options available. So if I just draw a line here now down this bit of paper, and effectively this is board 1 and this is board 2. What some people do is they put a couple of screws on each side and then solder the rail across onto those two screws, and that holds them in perfect alignment. What I've done is I've gone for an old trick here, which is to get some copper clad like so, and then what I did is I literally again just laid the track across the copper, soldered the track to the copper, and then I literally then cut across the here and here, for instance here, to make sure there was no continuity across the tracks. And we'll have a look at Flint Hills in a minute and you'll see that is what I've done. However, you may have just noticed there the copper itself is slightly higher than the track itself, so it does sit and it does give you a slight rise and fall, and I'll try and take some pictures to show that where it's slightly high.
So here's some shots of the track joints at Flint Hills. They probably don't look very pretty, but they are very aligned and very straight, and I have absolutely no issues with them whatsoever, except, as you'll see in this picture, the slight curvature of the track where it joins.
What's caught my eye this week is another way of connecting your track. This is from Model Tech and it's the ProTrack rail aligner, and they do it in various gauges. So I thought, well, let's have a look and see what it offers. So I've purchased the N gauge solution, and basically it's like a small jigsaw puzzle when they come together. So there it is there. It's got holes at either side for where you can, if I just zoom in a bit nearer there, you've got holes there either side for putting your droppers, which is quite good. But what's really nice, it's actually virtually the right spacing for your track, and it's the right height. If I lay my track on there, it is absolutely the right height. And it does look a little bit neater than the copper clad, I must admit. So the question is now, do I take some of mine up and put some of these in to give it a go? Now the only thing that might slightly concern me is that when I disconnect my two boards, I have a fascia board that goes on each end for transit, and I'm just not sure with those bits in the middle how that's going to affect the boards that go on for transit. I might just have to take a little bit out of the transit boards to for each of that little piece that goes in there. The other thing is as well that it's very gold down here, and obviously when I ballast that might not disappear out, so I guess I'll have to paint those gold bits out. They're there for a reason, I guess. I'm not sure why myself, but certainly the gold down the middle for soldering your track to is great, and there's definitely no up and down like I've got with the copper clad. It's definitely nice and flat. So yeah, I think if I was redoing my whole layout going forward, I'd probably use these. Quite impressed at how they look. Yeah, I'll certainly get some more. We've got a slight problem at our club at the moment with a raised piece of track, so I may even take those down to the club and see if that resolves the slight issue there. Now, one thing I do see a lot of is where these tracks are perfectly aligned, which obviously this tool will keep the tracks perfectly aligned, as does the copper. However, if your boards, the two boards, are at different heights, and that's why I use the DCC alignment pins to stop that from happening, I don't think this system is actually going to give you that, because what I've done deliberately is just put a piece of blue tack underneath it just to show a board that's of a different height. And unfortunately, yeah, you could still have one track higher than the other, so you'd have that little dip or drop whichever way your board's going. So it'd be useful if they had either side of them a little mechanism on top to actually make sure that not only did it join squarely, but the heights remain the same as well. And I think that then would be even better. To get that alignment in, no problem at all. It just needs something to try and ensure this alignment here is right as well, this height alignment. But again, these are only just my personal preferences. First time I've seen these, so I'm just giving it a little evaluation. But yeah, no, it looks impressive.
In a previous video, I showed how I made a CR Signals LED signal kit to work on Flint Hills. So last week I made a few more, and as you can see here, I made the signal with the left turn indicator and two normal red and green signals. And here's all three. All went well until I went to connect them up and they didn't work. Then the penny dropped. The accessory decoder I'm using wants common anode, yet knowing this, I've stupidly made the signals as common cathode. I know what happened. Just before I started to solder up the LED connections, I was called away, and when I came back I was thinking about work and not concentrating on what I was doing. However, all is not lost. Yes, I could open up the signals and redo the LED wire connection. However, I decided to purchase the common cathode to common anode converter from DigiKeys, the DR4103. Unfortunately, when I opened the packet, there was no instructions, and on the DigiKeys website it shows the printed circuit boards marked with in and out, yet mine was not marked, so this is how I use mine. This particular module will actually do two 3-wire signals, or two home signals in my particular case. From the bottom, the input from the accessory decoder goes into the end where there is a number of diodes that you can see there, which is marked with X3, and the output to the signals is marked with the X1, where there's a number of resistors that are stamped into the printed circuit board. I'm pleased to report that as soon as those signals were connected to the DR4103, the converters, everything worked fine and the signals worked perfectly, and I'll give you some running shots of how they look. what else have I been up to? Well, all a bit of electrics really. I've installed a new accessory decoder to run those signals, so they're all totally automated via iTrain and my DR5000. I've also installed a new detection which has got the Railcom on, and this is the last one I need for the layout, so this now completes the layout for all Railcom track detection. I've also been doing an audit of what locos I've got and rolling stock I've got, checking the decoder numbers and just bringing in all the paperwork, I suppose, up to date. What I've also been doing is speed profiling all the locos again. I've just reviewed what I've been doing and how I've been using iTrain, so I thought, yeah, it won't hurt just to update the speed profiles for each loco as I was going through and auditing. Just a reminder about my 200 subscriber prize draw. If you're interested, please subscribe to Flint Hills and then email me on info@flinthills.co.uk and confirm your subscriber name and the draw you wish to enter, be it for the double O gauge model or for the N gauge model. The draw closes on the 30th of October 2020, and I'll be drawing the winners on the 1st of November 2020. And just to repeat, it's a worldwide draw. Okay, it's not just for the UK. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe and click on the bell icon to receive all future updates. Over the next few weeks, I'm hopefully going to be finishing off the signals on the lower level and to start on some scenic work and to do some ballasting, and also convert some of my old stock to DCC. Lastly, watch out for where it all goes wrong at the end of this video. Stay safe, and I hope to see you all soon.